So you're getting ready to get back into the market and get pre-approved for a home before you meet with your realtor. That's the first thing you should do. Here's why. A lot of changes with guidelines and getting, pre-approved. If you're a W-2 employee and not self-employed, you're just W-2, you work for another company, you're on a salary, that's going to be very easy to do, your pre-approval. If you're self-employed or variable hours, or let's say you're like a nurse and you have shift differential, or you're a mechanic or union worker that gets, 8 months of work and 4 months off, that's going to be a little more difficult, meaning it's not super easy. You're not on salary. If you have differential in shift pay, if you have overtime or bonuses, they use 2-year averages. So we need to get all of your documents in to have a perfect pre-approval, or what we call a loan commitment. So I can get you a loan commitment instead of a pre-approval, where all we need is the appraisal and title to close. So a couple things. Self-employed, you're going to need typically 2 years of tax returns, business and personal, and possibly a P&L year to date. So if you are self-employed and you've been self-employed for longer than 5 years, we may only need 1 year of your taxes. So a lot of things depend on how long you've been self-employed, what our findings require, and through that, that'll help us get you pre-approved. Like if you just take dividends as a self-employed, that's not always allowed as income because it's not taxable. So they're looking at what you're paying on taxable income, like are you getting a K-1? Or if you have a business and you have like lines due and payable, meaning you're using credit lines to operate, which is normal, we have to make sure that those are going to get extended every year. So there's so many things that factor into the pre-approval, as well as where's the down payment coming from? Do you have enough money for the down payment and closing costs? You can be gifted. You can get a loan from your 401k. You can get a seller credit. So what we do up front is work with you, number one, on getting properly pre-approved, or giving you our loan commitment, or we have same-day mortgage, because speed right now matters. Sellers want to know that you're clear to close as quick as possible. We can do a conditional commitment same day, and if we get an appraisal waiver, you will actually be clear to close within 24 hours. We just wait on clear title from the seller, but that's not something you control. So if you are self-employed, I can't tell you enough how important it is to go and get pre-approved. I have some self-employed borrowers who go from like an S Corp to filing a C Corp, or they're going to do a 1099. So they're changing how they're paying themselves, and that can impact the approval as well. So again, you're always typically going to need at minimum 1 year of tax returns, sometimes 2, depending how long you've been self-employed. And we may have to look at your business accounts to see if you're operating, well. So again, it could be a little bit of paperwork needed for self-employed, or it can morph into more paperwork for self-employed, depending on how the numbers look. So if you have any questions on like getting pre-approved, what do you typically need? Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid if you have like issues with your credit. We see it every day, and our goal is to help you get ready to buy and get pre-approved. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channels for more tips.